Hey everybody, it's Amy Head with New Perspectives for Life in Marietta, Georgia. Today is Tuesday, April 1st, 2014. It is April Fool's Day. I hope it's not been too crazy of a day for you so far, but we are having a beautiful day here in Marietta. It's a beautiful spring day. The temperatures are warm. We've got our short sleeves on. It's spring break here in Cobb County, so we are just having a great start to the week, and I hope you are too wherever you are. I thought I would take this time that we're sharing together to talk about something that has really kind of been on my heart and mind this week, because a lot of people that I know have been experiencing some of this either themselves or with their kids, and that is sort of this feeling of being disconnected. I think it's really interesting that we are probably the most able to be connected in our world today worldwide, through the internet, through text messaging, through YouTube, through just everything. We have the ability to be more connected to one another than ever before. And what I find is that through that ability to be more connected, we are finding that more and more people feel more isolated and alone than ever before, which is kind of odd, because you would think the more connected we are, the more connected we feel. But it's not really the case for everybody. And I'm finding that with my clients and just with other people that I know, that a lot of people are feeling quite isolated and alone, even kind of desperate for feeling like they have some connection to something beyond themselves. And in some cases, unfortunately, that is leading to some very harmful behaviors for themselves. Things that might be self-harming behaviors, potentially suicide attempts, very serious things. And I think that's something that we need to think about, that how is it possible that in this over-connected society, people are being left to feeling isolated and alone? And I think that's really important when we're thinking especially about our kids, if we think about parenting and family life in general. If your family is like my family, we have several people in our family, 4 of us. We each have our phones, and we each have them pretty much on our possession at all times. So we might be in our family room watching TV or kind of checking in on how the day went, but we all kind of have our phones going a lot of times at the same time. So we're connected, and we're connected beyond just the 4 of us at the same time, but are we really connecting with one another? I think there's a difference between being connected and actually connecting with each other. So in thinking about that, in terms of kind of parenting and family life, I was thinking that there are a few things that might be helpful for us as we think about this concept of connection and isolation happening almost simultaneously. So in order to really stay connected with our kids, which is what we really need to do so that we kind of know and are involved in their world, there's a few things that we can do to help that. One of the things is that when we are asking our kids, how was your day, or we're checking in with them, or we're going over the logistics for the next day, for us and to ask them to put our electronics to the side for a moment. If we have to literally flip our phone upside down so that we don't notice when a notification comes up, or if we have to turn the ringer off so we don't hear the tone that lets us know that we have somebody connected with us getting in touch or something, that is really important, to just kind of turn those electronics away so that we can remain directly interacting with and connected to our kids. Another opportunity for keeping a little bit of a deeper connection going with our kids is to ask a lot of questions. Not over bombarding them with questions, but to ask questions of interest. A lot of times we'll say, how was your day? And the kids will say, fine or good, and that's about as far as the conversation goes, and then we get right back into whatever we were doing. But there's some helpful ways to ask questions or to make statements that really bring connection to the forefront. Things like, tell me something crazy that happened today. Your child might look at you like, I don't know, and then you can still say, well, anything. Was there anything crazy? Was there anything funny, silly that happened today? And if you give it a few moments, your child will probably come up with an example. Or if they don't, you can offer, well, here's something crazy that happened in my day, and just offer an example, and then they may offer an example back. Or you could say something like, what was the best thing that happened at school today? Or what was the best thing that happened in one of your classes today? Something that allows for more than a yes or no answer. Or instead of asking a question, if you feel better making statements, you could say, tell me something that happened at school today that you weren't expecting. Or tell me something that made you think something funny or something silly in your mind today, especially for little kids, because little kids really like humor and they like to think about fun and silliness. So if we can embrace that and ask those questions, that's really helpful. But one thing that I am finding in my practice and with people that I know is that things are happening, serious things are happening in their kids' lives, and they're not aware of it. And I think the best way for us to be aware of what's happening in our kids' worlds is for us to invest some time and energy involving ourselves in their worlds, not hovering over them and not being tied at the hip asking every little detail about every little thing, but just expressing our open interest in what's going on with them. If we're not used to doing that, that may kind of catch them off guard and they might not really know what to do with that. But give it a little bit of time and model that for them and offer them some examples. You're never going to believe what happened to me at work today. They might not even care, or we might think they don't care, but believe me, they will listen to what you have to say because you're talking about something in your world, and then you can ask them about it. I think what's happening is our world is so big, and we have such elaborate ways that are so easy at the same time to stay connected with the big world that we're almost losing connection with the immediate world that means more to us. So these are just some ways to think about remaining connected and initiating connection, especially with our kids, so that we can go into their world. We can't expect them to just be a part of our world. We need to enter their world. And if they see that we're making effort and that we have interest, they might offer up a story or some information without us even having to ask the next time. I hope that's helpful. Leave your thoughts and comments if you end up doing that this week and entering your kids' world, and let us know. Put some feedback on my Facebook page, New Perspectives for Life. Let us know how it went for you, because I really think we want to keep our kids close to us. And we think they're close to us because they're at our fingertips with text or voicemail or iMessaging or anything like that, but we want this interaction, and they need that interaction from us. Thanks so much for joining me today. Amy Head, New Perspectives for Life in Marietta, Georgia. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.